Morning, everybody, and welcome to the Trade the Ball live stream this morning. Whoa, it's already done. The day's already done for me. I am like literally over and done. How about you, Mitch?
Well, like always, man, we said it yesterday. There was a cat out there roaring, and I think Scott and I are roaring this morning. So stick around, team. We got a great show for you.
Should we show it? Should we show it?
All right, traders. What's going on? None other than, of course, GME is what's going on. And just about everything.
Nice.
I mean, meme stocks are back. It's back to 2020, Scott. We're by the dip. Where's Portnoy, man? He should come out of the woodworks and start the day trading stream again. Start hammering down on stocks here. Because it's one of those mornings, man. All right, so tell us a little bit about what's going on, Scott. What are you seeing out there? And I heard that you might have made a good trade.
I did make a little good trade this morning. I was an early bird this morning, so I was just catching up, and I was noticing these little pops down to buy side, just holding. And then I have one sell side sitting here, and I'm like, well, if that cracks, we could go again today, right? If not, we could just sell off back down into the 30s or whatever. But yeah, I caught this last one just as it was trying to break. And then this next one, I caught that at $43. And I rode that. Here's the trade here. Here's the out on this. Look at the out on that at 79.06. That was unbelievable.
It money.
Oh man, I just couldn't believe I was in it. Had nothing to do with GME and the meme stocks last time this was out. Obviously, I couldn't get involved in any of it. Just wasn't legal for me at that time. So it was so much fun this morning. And I've done AMC as well. I've done SPWR. They were all jumping out the woodwork this morning. I shorted SPWR, not noticing, oh my God, this is also a meme stock. So I shorted SPWR. And then obviously it's ran again, right? So they're all going on. What did you do, Mitch?
Well, hey, when one thing's working, I said, you know what, GME's been the stock to trade, and I said, you know what, let's go ahead and let's get after it. Let's see what we can do. And I said, right when I was starting to wrap up the day, I was like, you know what, let's do a $40 risk here. See what can happen with $40 of risk and overnighting this. And wouldn't you know it, guys, take a look here, guys. 10 shares left, because I did have to sell some this morning. I mean, waking up to those profits ain't too bad. And you know it's good when you have to expand the net profit area. You know what I mean? You have to expand it a little bit to see the numbers there. And there you guys see it. We're up. I got a nice little 1,100 this morning to start the day. And 10 shares are making me 372 right now on the unrealized, right? But that just goes to show you, and I want you traders out there to realize, you don't need to be trading with thousands of shares sometimes, even 10 shares. 40 shares in GME making over $1,000. Not a bad trade at all.
Not bad at all. So I think you've done the same as me then. I've left about 10% on, or not even that, 5% on. Took most of it off at that 79 level, but I just want to see what it does, because my thought process this morning was, well, this popped yesterday, right? And they halted it, and it's really hard to get in unless you kind of waited till towards the end of day. I think my screen's frozen, I can't move it. So it was really hard to get in until later on in the day, and then you get post-market and pre-market, right? It's you have to cover me on these for a minute.
I got you. No worries. I'll put you up.
Thanks, man.
There we go.
So yeah, I'm thinking, right, so let's get into pre-market, because I know there's no market.
At what time? At what time are you waking up? What time did you wake up?
Well, it's not what it was. It was just my 11 a.m. right, but about 4 a.m. or 10 a.m. Your 4 a.m.
Oh, so that you have an advantage, Scott. You have an advantage.
On the pre-market.
You're all awake at 11 a.m. versus you know over here. We got to wake up early, and hey, way to get after it, Scott. Did you see a specific pattern, or did you just go after it?
Just saw those first initial. Let's see. I got hollow as well this morning. Just those first initial buy side pulls. It was just obvious that they were coming in. There was one down at 41. There was one down at 41.68, and I'm like, well, if it cracks the sell side, which was right at 44. I'm like, then I'm going to be patient, not chase it, because it went to 45 from there, and then as it come down to 43.60, that was it. I was in. And it just didn't look back. Did not look back from that number at all. But it was more to the point that I think it was clear that those players are not going to let this happen to them again, right? So they're going to be on the right side. And if they're going to be on the right side, they're going to do it pre-market. Absolutely going to do it pre-market. So I'm interested to see, and that's why I've left some skin in the game, because I'm interested to see what happens today when everyone can get hold of this when the market opens if they want to. And if we're in the halts, we're in the halts. If it crashes and 79 was the high, then we'll get out of it. But
that's the fun part.
Exciting morning. I haven't really looked at what did I have. What else did I have here? I had hollow as well. Quick look here.
I see the chat buzzing already. Good morning, Scott. Scott, I'll always love doing that one. Tiny and Bayrem saying, I don't see GME AMC slowing down today. Everyone has been very bored for 3 years. Well, guess what? All those bored traders, I don't think they're bored anymore. They're definitely coming out and looking to look for some trades out there. We're definitely going to run through a bunch of these names. So if there's any catching your attention, just throw them up. Look at this list here, guys. It's not very often that you see that high of movers here. So let's go through some of those. AMC yesterday was mentioned by me. I didn't play this one well, but still, it went all the way up to 13.50 this morning, and we were trading this yesterday at where? 3.30. So if you were able to get that AMC all day yesterday, shout out to you guys for being able to trade better than I was on this one. But at the same time, good move there in AMC, right? Not a bad move at all to kind of take a look at. Let me go ahead and get you through some other of these. I'm going to just put this to the side just so I can run through it easier. You got this edible. That one doesn't matter to me. I'm going through it. FFIE. Do you guys know this one? This is Faraday Future. This is an actual EV player, but this is as cheap as it gets. This is 9 cents trying to go up, right? That's why it's getting a little bit of a lift there. Hollow. I think you got this one, Scott, on the radar, right? You're watching this one. All right. This one's definitely one to kind of keep an eye out for. Hollow, big move here. One thing to note, though, look to the left. You see this, guys? This stock spikes and ends horribly. So just be careful out there. We'll see what happens on Hollow. How much can it go? Only one way to find out. We'll definitely be watching it today. I'm going to keep running through some of these names. If any of them catch your attention, Scott, we could definitely kind of focus on them. But just running through some of these big movers in the morning. Plug Power, of course. This one has a tendency of moving with FSIL. So you can maybe look to see if FSIL starts to make a little bit of a catch-up move. It did have a little bit of news this morning, getting a little bit of a pop. Maybe $5 into play with this one. Right above it, maybe we get a pull back to 4 here on the hourly candles. We'll see what happens there on Plug Power. Been a strong stock this morning, and there's plenty of names to kind of keep an eye out. Cost yesterday was a big mover, right? This one, big move overnight, now up to like 625. So we'll see what happens with some of these names. And if any of them catch your attention, or Beyond Meat, Space, there's so many out there that are making moves, guys. There's a lot to take a look at. SPCE, big move up there to now 147, just started moving. And this one's like $1 name. So if you guys like them cheap names, definitely take a look at them. A lot of the SPACs I'm seeing. PaySafe, it's another SPAC. Big lift there to the 18, so a little bit more expensive, but definitely making a move. You got your TUP, Tupperware. Get out the Tupperware, the plastic in your containers, the thing that never goes away, right? No one throws out the Tupperware until it looks, pretty bad, right? Well, Tupperware getting the lift there, 250, big resistance that I'll be watching to see if you can get through. If you can get through there, next level could be up there towards right around this high here. Maybe the body close will do $3 as the next high to look for a run on Tup. This is not a bad one. I'll be watching to see if I can get this one right out the gates. Tupperware. All right, let's keep going. There's a lot of names out there. Clover Health, another SPAC, right? I see a trend there. I'm going to definitely be looking for to see what these SPACs can get moving. Another one that's been on my radar for a little while now is Ginkgo. So let's see if this can get moved back. We'll see what happens. A lot of the short squeeze stocks could be some of these names that have the high short interest. Scott jumped out for a second. He'll be right back with us, guys. Don't worry. Scott will be with us. He'll be back. Let's keep it going, team. What else in ones? Clove, you just mentioned it, right, in the chat. I see that mentioned. We just talked about it. Clover Health, it's not a bad one. It's over above the $1. I'd be looking for that dip right below $1 out the gates and then right back above it. So somewhere in this kind of area here where you bunched up, this 99, maybe a little quick dip to 98s, and then back through that $1 spot. So definitely going to be watching that. And of course, GME on the radar. Can this get back through the 70s? And can we play some plays today, right? Right now, there's a lot of these moves have kind of already begun, right? So we can also go BlackBerry. I know it was mentioned in the chat. That's up there to almost a $4 spot and kind of balancing there. $4 seems to be in play. We'll see if that can get through the 4. Next level from there, I see around 450s in play there. All right, Scott, that's enough from my small stocks, but there's so many out there. I'm sure you'll still cover some that I haven't covered. Let's get to the action, Scott. What are you seeing now in some of these small land movers?
And let's have a look here. So
because there's no point in trading anything else this morning. At least I feel like it, Scott. I don't know about you, but it feels like, man, it's just these smaller, big moves because that's where the trading action is.
Yeah, I agree. That's definitely going to be the concentration this morning. Other things that have been moving, so that I've been hearing on the take whilst I've been looking at these. Plug has been on. PLUG has been on. I'm still very slow on these screens at the moment. I don't know why, but yes, Plug has been on for sure. Let's have a look at where we've come from. Let's get these alerts off here. Get the sessions off. Let's have a look at the higher time frame on Plug. All right, so Plug is coming out from the lows back on the 24th of April. See what we've got here. Yeah, okay, so Plug, watch out for this 5 area. That could see some shorts come in here. Let's see if they break above 5 here and close above, then there could be more upside. But for me, forgetting everything else, that should be benchmark sitting right up there. So let's see what we've got at the highest level. Right, so this is one where I'm looking for that benchmark 2 now to come in, drag that down there. We're going to punch into that sell side, and that's it. If we can hold that sell side, that's the, day one short alert, right? We're up to you whether you want to do this sort of thing. But, that's my play. When it comes into benchmark 2, then there is, do we hit the new high or not? If we reject that new high, and then there could be a potential short on here. So it's right around now, 467.70. So I'll be keeping an eye on that. My preference, by the way, is when these do hit benchmark 2, rather than trying to get them on day 1, is let that benchmark work out. Let it prove to me that it's not going to go for that benchmark again, and then try and catch it as it rolls over on day 2. So yeah, just for your info, I know that I do play these on day 1, but it's not necessarily my preference. So that is Plug for you. Anything else in the chat that we missed, or did you cover it all before whilst I was rebooting there?
Yeah, just looking around, right?
Right.
I see one bigger stock here we can talk about on holding, of course, is the Shoemaker getting a little bit of a lift this morning. Definitely pay attention to this one. Not a bad stock to definitely keep an eye out On has been doing really well, right? They had earnings this morning, EPS at 38 cents, beating the 14-cent estimate. Sales of 581.594 million, beat the 497. So big beats here on. That's why it's up at 35.50, trading higher this pre-market. We'll see what happens here on holdings. Definitely going to be watching this one, and also Home Depot reporting this morning. So definitely keep your eyes to see what happens with Home Depot. Home Depot came in here, and the earnings were at $3.63 on the EPS, beating the $3.59 estimate. Sales of $361, actually 36.41 billion, missed the 36.67 billion number here. Home Depot going up and down, a little bit of a shake there. We'll see what happens. This morning, PPI coming in and shaking things up. The market coming down with a big wick there. You guys see the wick. Let's go to the 5 minutes so you guys can see the action a little bit more. It went down to the 518s, and this was all on the PPI report, coming in at actually rising 0.5 in April, more than expected, showing that inflation's a little bit higher. But more what this matters to is, of course, the big bad wolf, Jerome Powell, FOMC. Will they be cutting rates? I've said it since the beginning of the year. They're not cutting rates. They're not going to cut it. And at this point, with numbers like this, it just points to more and more that they probably won't be cutting those rates. And as we get a new president in, I think it makes sense for the Fed to kind of hold its ammo and wait to see who is president, right? Because then they can support that president in whatever they're trying to accomplish in their fiscal policy by supporting it with monetary policy. So this is what I'll be watching for. That's for another show. All right, let's keep going, guys. We'll see what else is going on. Let's get after it. Stock market jobber, what's up out there? Money Mitch back on air. Yeah, let's get after it, man. Hit the like button.
Hey, Mitch, listen, I'm going to need to do a full reboot here. I am going to be back with you in a few minutes just before the open. All right. If
the good thing, Scott, is that we got two, man. No worries. I'll hold it down. We'll get after it. I'll see you back in a bit. Cheers. All right, guys. GME, guys, ripping here, guys. Now I'm making more money, guys. Up 411 here, guys. 71.68. GME, guys, making a move here, man. Let's go. Look at this, guys. All right, so let's go to like the 5 minutes so we can see a little bit more of the pattern. I actually like the 15-minute on a stock like this. It's moving so fast, right? So you can see here more the resistance at 72. There's definitely some selling going on there. We need to take out whatever supply is there. And this would be when I ask Scott, like, do you see the supply there also? And then, so where's the buy area? Well, I think buy area is going to be closer towards the 60 area. But I think we could pull back even further right out the gates with a little bit of a scare washout. We'll see what happens here. There's the gates in the second here, guys. We got about 10 minutes here before the bell. It's 9:19, and the stock's already moving. It ran into that 72, and look at that, guys. Big resistance at 72. There should be probably some selling and something on the tape there. I'd be looking, but definitely we'll see what happens there. I think they raised rates before cuts. That would be an interesting case, Kevin. If that would happen, definitely shake things up. And Mullen coming in, Shane, and you guys drop a stock. You guys, Money Mitch is here, guys, to give you guys some assessment. Look around in the market, find catalysts. What are you guys looking at? Throw it up in the chat right now, and definitely hit that share button. Let everybody know this is the stream where you want to be. All right, let's go after it. Let's see what we got. Mullen, the Mullinator, up there towards 760. Yesterday, I talked about how this would be a stock that I would not be in front of, or at least shorting yesterday. And look at how this took off the $5 spot. We were looking for that kind of 565 to come into play. Really nice move. Back up there towards 8 now. And big spike there in Mullen, the Mullinator, as I like to call it. Be careful out there, guys. NVAX ran me over yesterday, and it was actually a stock that I was looking to the upside. But now up there towards 1345, got up there to 14. Big day yesterday in NVAX. Do I think that NVAX can keep going? I actually think this one will maybe take a pullback because this is a big move for NVAX. I don't expect to see NVAX just ripping like this, but hey, you never know. especially on a day like today where you got stocks just completely booming. Be careful out there, traders. One thing that I'm going to be looking for is yesterday's high. Yesterday's high being 1397. Where we're at right now, 1342s, right? So I need to see if it could break that high to show me that it's really strong today. And that's above it, right? You can see it's rejected that in the pre-market, and we rejected it quite a couple amount of times. So maybe look for a little bit of a spike into that area. We'll see if we're able to get through that 14, and then I'll be looking for some pullback action. We'll see what happens in NVAX. All right, let's keep it going. Hollow, if you hear me. No, I'm just talking about Hollow here. Micro cloud pushing there towards the 380s. I talked about maybe 4 in play. Next level for that one is right around this 450 spot. So I'll be watching to see if it can get up there. That's going to be resistance for me. We'll see what happens. It's at 386 right now. Could just rocket to that level. It's going to be a hard one. I'll tell you today, guys, be careful out there, because if a stock is up big, just means also that the volatility has increased and we could get caught today. You have to play it smart, just like smart rent. Not a bad one here, up to the 280 spot, looking for the $3 breakout. So today out the gates, what I'm going to be doing, guys, well, I'll be looking at GME to maybe take some profits to then maybe add to this position on a pullback. So I'll be watching it out the gates here, first focusing on GME, then moving to the other stocks. If you guys find something, let me know, chat. I'm getting after it here. All right, what other ones are out there, traders? Let's take a look. Reddit was one I mentioned yesterday. I thought Reddit could really make a move. And look, 62, 63. Yesterday, it was at 58, and it's really starting to take off. I talked about this break of 50, how important it was after the earnings. Look at the takeoff now, up about 33% off of those earnings and really starting to push. This is one I think could really get moving, especially with this meme like move, really trying to move stocks. Reddit on the watch today, guys. Well being mentioned in the chat. Let's take a look at that one. WELL, Well Tower. This one looks like it's trying to break to 100. Just looks like it really is. But you could see here, this has a tendency of doing these kind of long weekly moves and then pulling back. We'll see if it's on the expansion right now. It looks like it's trying to head through the 100, but then it could be followed by a little bit of a wicked pullback. So I'd be looking for maybe a little bit of an expansion move. Maybe it gets up there, starts to push up a little bit, and then gives you a little bit of a pullback. It has a tendency of doing these kind of like big little rocket up and then like a big pullback back to the trend line. So just be careful out there, guys. We'll see what happens. Well Tower, hey, wish you the best out there, guys. All right, guys, it's 9:24. Got to take a little bit of some Starbucks this morning. It's been a Starbucks kind of time because right now I'm going to be moving to Florida. So just got to get what I can get and keep it going, team. Let's go. All right, guys, let's get after it. Let's see what else we got on the market today. I'm going to be looking around. Let's see some of the bigger names. Oh, here's one. Beyond Meat. Beyond Meat starting to get a little bit of a spike here. This is one that just started moving, so I don't mind playing this one. It has made already kind of about like 20%, but I do think this is a short squeeze type of stock, right? Has a lot of people have shorted it. Let's see what happens with this one. Let's see if we can get a pullback to $9. Below $9, it really is interesting for me. Why? I talked about it yesterday. The 9 EMA, right? Can we get back below the 9 EMA? Look for an undercut and then a rally. We'll see what happens here out the gates, guys. About 5 minutes left. And look who's back. Smash it up, guys.
Thanks, Mitch. Okay, so PLUG has just broken out with volatility. I don't know if it is on the table or not because I couldn't hear it. So while I was rebooting, but 477 was that number. It's pushed through it. Now, just give it a little bit of time. Like I said, close and stay above here. It's still at the $5 level. Shorts are going to like the round number. So we'll see what comes in. If we're zooming out to any other time frame, it's going to look just like a little bit of a spike above those levels. Don't freeze on me again. Don't freeze on me again now. I've got a serious issue with Chrome this morning. I'm going to have to, go with some other browser, I think, because this is not liking it.
That Chrome.
Second. I'm going to see if there's an update to do or something on this. But listen, plug. And if you want to take a look at TUP as well, I think that's very, very close to benchmark.
Get the plastic out, man. The Tupperware.
Yeah,
Call
that
the grandmas.
right there. I'm sure that very top, that wick that you can see right there, was a benchmark. So obviously, an attempt again at that area would be good. So it doesn't look like a reboot has resolved the issues I'm having right here. So I'm going to have to try and switch this up a little bit. Seeing what else I've got here.
210 area seems interesting for me on Tupperware, just as a comeback kind of rally, right? So you get this kind of push out of this pattern here, right? Then you get that expansion move back. A lot of times what we call is a throwback look, above the trend line, back to the trend line, and then back above, right? So let's see if we can get this kind of pullback and then expansion through the 250.
Okay, so just trying to carry this off the top of my head. The other LIDR, I think, has come off. So REBN was up there, and yeah, so RBN, so stocks up the most in the last 5 days. I've got REBN, Reborn.
Yep, Reborn.
LIDR, CCLD. So if you want to take a quick look at them, I'm just looking for first red days. Oh, and the one yesterday we had first red day. What was that ticker? Trader Life. We had it on. Took a bit longer than we thought. It went to a higher
cloud
price
one.
Traded. Yeah, it was INOD, was it? IDON?
Yeah, INOD was one of them yesterday for sure. That one's definitely in play. That one actually looks pretty decent. I like the sideways action on it. It's not bad. I mean, there's a lot out there, guys. So this is the days where it's like pick your flavor, right? This is when you go to the ice cream shop and you see like 60 different flavors. Well, today you got to pick your flavors, guys. So find what works for you, what stock you want to trade. There's going to be a lot of action out the gates. I'm actually going to be taking a little bit of a like wait and see approach versus like jumping at 9:30, because I feel like a lot of traders are going to do that. I always look for early traders that get wiped out, and then I try to join the traders that eat up those traders, and that's what I'll be looking for out the gates. If you're trading right out the gates, doesn't mean that you can't do it. It just means be careful. There's going to be a lot of action here. We'll see what happens. All right, guys, it's 9:29. It's almost about that time. You guys know it. The bell is coming. We got about 40 seconds left here, a little bit under that. Ready to get after it. Tesla, stocks like that, Zoom. Look for the stocks that have momentum, the stocks that move on a day like today, looking for volume all around the market. There's a lot of action coming in. Now it's time to find it. Lucid, there's so much stocks that are making moves here. Rivian, there's a lot of action, team. A lot of action. All right, guys, it's about 10 seconds here. Let's get after it, team. Let's see what we can come up with today, guys. You guys know where you're at. It's Trade the Pool, and guess what? It's time. Get after it, traders. Get after it out there, and be careful. We'll see what happens out the gates. It's going to be a fun one. That's for sure. All right, first one up, GME, right? I talked about I want to focus on that. Let's see if we get some dip buying approach here. So this is the area that I was talking about, the dip buying coming in, right? So there's two ways I can approach this, right? I can add to my position, or I can take the position and run. Did it down halt? Oh, I might have down halted. I think it did down halt at the 630, 60-30s. Yep, yeah, down halt out the gate. So be careful, because this could literally make some others kind of get that down halt too, right? So just be careful out there, traders. All right, getting some alerts. I want to check these out here. All right. Beam giving me an alert here. Beam. Be careful with AMC and some of those other memes. Definitely got to be careful out there today. This is one that's on the radar for me because healthcare and biotech starting to get strong. This is a Kathy Wood momentum type of name. Beam on the radar. CRISPR, stocks like that. Just because I saw them yesterday. That's just a theme that I'm seeing. Real estate hot today. Healthcare, cyclicals starting off the day. Utilities on the bottom, but everything green out the gates. That's a good sign. We'll see what happens in the market if that can continue to push. All right, let's get back. GME is not going to be able to do much there. Let's go looking at some other ones. Costs down to the 570s here. This is going to be interesting, guys. Out the gates, I think I'm going to be a little bit on the sideline, but I'm going to be watching. We'll see. Maybe something stands out to me. NBAC kind of just hanging out there. This one that I think could pull back eventually, but we'll see if it gets up to the 14 first. You can see it just like stair stepping right there at the 1340s. Let's see if it takes the 1350s and makes a move. All right, looking around, trying to find some other ones here. Got to get my alert. There we go.
Let's try this. So AMC. Hollows very gently on the tape. Hollow is also on the tape. AMC has just come into buy side liquidity here. Okay, that's just tapped into buy side liquidity, which wasn't as far off as what GME was looking. So for GME's buy side, I have it all the way down here at 52. Now, given it's a sell side halt, then it could just halt its way down there. Be careful around these 50s, 48s, 40, 44, bottom of that 44. That's pretty much where I was getting in. That's where the liquidity switch on acknowledged also on that recce from this morning. So, just be careful. See if we get down there of long in GME until we show something down here. Like this might be done for the day. Oh, that's what I wanted to show before I dropped off. On the daily with GME, don't do it to me again. What is going on with time frame changes? It's a new browser. What is going on with time frame changes?
Hey, a lot of programs sometimes have some issues, right? Looks like TradingView is having a little bit of some issues this morning. Sometimes happens, right? That's why we always have to have a couple of tools to get through it, Scott. It's just I'm sure it's not on your side at this point. You've tried multiple things. I mean, it gets to a point where you just go crazy. You're like, what is going on?
There we go. White screen. I know I'm definitely having a problem.
All right.
I don't know.
Or Walgreens Boots Alliance even making a move. That's not something I trade often, but Walgreens is making a move there. I'm looking around to see what has some volume. Look at this American, man. I'm still a little annoyed I don't got my swing on, man. Look at that thing. These are the types that I love. Like this type of trend. Like now, I mean, remember, I got in this thing at like 1398. So that would be a beautiful swing there on American. We'll see what happens. Those airlines doing well. SPCE was on the radar earlier today for a little bit of a spike, has pulled back here. We'll see if we get the next move here. AMC halted on the downside too. Oof. Was that the upside? I think that was the upside. I think it pulled back to 1050, then went back to 1150. It's going to be one of those days, teams. Be careful out there. Costs up to the 690s. Now this is making a move there, guys. Big move in costs. That was an interesting one. I was watching that cut down through 6. Wasn't too bad there. All right, let's take a look what other ones are making moves right now. How's Reddit doing? Reddit's hanging in there. And backs with a big pop there, now towards the 1430s. Look at that pop there. Don't get in front of that NVAX right now. At least it seems like that thing's ready to run some people over. ARC getting a little bit of a lift there. Let's see what is up out the gates here. And ARC, PACB, I'm telling you, those biosciences and healthcare stocks, they're making moves. There's something there. I'm definitely watching it. Archer getting a little bit of a lift. Beam Therapeutics pulled back here towards the 2540s. We'll make another run towards the 26 here. The only reason I'm not going after Beam here is the spread. Spread is way too wide there for me. Can't get after it. Starbucks. I'm drinking so much of it. Maybe I start making the stock come up. I'm looking at it, guys. It's starting to move a little bit there. Bit of a push this morning. Lucid showing up there for me. 330s on Lucid. This one could really spike. I mean, it definitely has a short interest. GME, is it open again? Did we get the second halt?
GME second halt at 57.
Second halt down, guys. Second halt down, guys. This is interesting. AMC is probably going to do the same when it reopens. I wouldn't be surprised if it comes down, but it's going to be one of those days where you just don't know. A lot of action out there, team. Be careful. I'm looking around to see what's making also moves here this morning. TMCI showing up. Nova. Those solar stocks were really making moves this morning. Lucid now pulling back a little bit there. AMC opened up and down it goes. There it goes. I thought maybe it'd get dragged with GME there, and it did. Look at that drag. Boom. From 1150, it opened up at 1148, down to 1050. And look at that little spike here before. Oh, it's trying to make a comeback. Oh, man, that one's a hard one. The spread there, it gapped there for like 40 cents right at the top, so it would have been very hard to short. You would probably had to have gotten short like at like 1080s, which didn't seem too bad, but I mean, it's a hard one right now, man. And they're spreading it out at the worst times, like at the top or the bottom of the range. So that's what is that? That's of course like money market makers, like, right? They're like kind of scooping those stops. This is why on a stock like this, Scott, I get scared about using stops because you do get chased after on a stock like this because you're part of that liquidity pool, right? That you talk about all the time, Scott. And you know, they just see it and they're just like, well, let's open this up another 5 cents and take up that volume and then drive it right back. So we'll see what happens here. AMC just chopping around this morning.
Absolutely. I'm going to try this on Trade the Ball here. So there were two things I was looking at AMC. So you might notice that I top ticked the 95% out of the position on GME this morning. And so there was a couple of things. There was taking it from this high to this low down there. So I was looking at basically an attempt at a double top. So I was looking at either 105 because this level was never ever tapped into. And then also it could have been as high as, let's put it on here. Can't fit this all in on here. Right. So literally almost a double top, just under. They generally are. Or we was looking down to this level, this high got tapped into by this high. The other one that was left standing here was this guy here, and this one was at 79.50. That's why when we smashed into this morning, that's why I took it all off at 79. Well, 95% it off at 75.50. I mean, who knows? That's been sitting there since 2021. Yet it was literally pinpoint. So yeah, I haven't had a look on AMC the rest. So unfortunately, all my pre-market analysis is on the other platform. But yeah, that's that wasn't kind of a guess at a top tick or something that I saw on the chart. It was as soon as it was up there, I was looking to get out of that. It was a little bit difficult on the dome to do it. It was flashing around like we mentioned earlier, Mitch. But yeah, let's see. Are we both in a halt situation here, or is AMC live? AMC
was moving around, so it could be live still.
Is AMC live? Yeah, AMC should be. That's real quiet on AMC.
All right, guys, I'm looking at the Molinator right now. You know it, the Molinator, guys. I'm looking for one more dip here, and then eventually going to look for a turnaround back through this kind of 675 spot. So looking for that kind of this kind of flagging pattern here. You can see the kind of pullback was pretty fast. It is hitting the resistance right now, but I want to see one more pullback kind of attempt to wipe out this downward spot here. So let's see if we can get that right into the kind of this space. Give me that shakeout to the downside. Then on the next comeback around, that's where I'm going to be looking for the next rip up. So like 650s, 640s, even it could go to 630s and then come back around. Don't want it here because that I can see that move happening, the little quick pullback. Then I just get washed out at 650s and then it's up at 7. So if it just goes right now, it's fine. We'll see what happens. GME reopened there. And down she goes. And down she goes. They even turned the lights off on you, Scott.
Exactly.
We should. I want to have like something that should have like some like crazy thing that just pops in the background when there's halts. It's just like blows off some like ribbons or whatever.
I literally did have a siren on it, but it was it comes out so much louder than everything else that I had to switch it off.
Oh, there you go.
It was like literally was. It was a scary siren that just blew everybody's ears off.
There you go, guys. There's Mullen on the pullback here. I'm going to be looking here for it to hit the kind of 630s, start to work its way back through 650s here. Definitely on the radar. Looking for the volume to increase on this. I'm not really seeing that right now. What's going on, team? How we doing out there, traders? FDX long, looking at on above pre-market highs. There you go, team. You guys staying on the big stocks. I like it. Team GME now to 49. All right, here's Mullen back to the 660s here. Has hit the 650s. You know what? I don't want to miss it here. I'm trying to get in. Don't want to chase though. I saw a little bit of volume there. Still not the volume that I'm looking for. Let me see here on the level 2. Man, that GME is coming down pretty fast there, guys. I'm definitely probably going to buy some on the next open. We're going to look for a little bit of a pullback buy and then just try to add to my remaining shares, set a break-even stop in the remaining, see what happens. All right, guys. So today is all about what top 3 stock indicators, of course. And the first one I'm going to give you guys is the MACD. So I'm looking for what's called the MACD crossover. And that's why I'm actually staying away right now from jumping in really quickly. It is starting to show some signs that it wants to cross over. That's down here. So you got the MACD, the moving average convergence divergence, right? You got the light blue line, which represents the 12 and the 26, and the 9, which is your trigger line, which is the yellow, right? So I'm looking for this to kind of trigger right back here, start working its way back, bend here, especially above 0 is definitely an important level to watch. So I'm going to actually put a line there. And so that kind of represents kind of the positive and the negative right there. That's the histogram. So right there, I'm going to actually make this a little thicker. So I'm looking for it to kind of cross back above that. That gives me confirmation, and I can get in beforehand, right? A lot of times I'll use this as more conviction than actually entry, right? So what do I mean by that is I already make my decision based on the pattern and the trade idea. But then if I can see that crossover after I'm in the trade, then that's showing me more conviction that I might have timed the trade correctly. So that's the MACD on just one of my top 3 stock indicators. We'll get a little bit more throughout the show. Smash the like, guys.
Mitch, you said Mullen, right? I'm listening for that on the tape. I've got that into buy side. You're looking to buy this, right? You're looking
exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
AMC just smashed out 950s as well.
Let me know when GME opens, guys. NVAX came down pretty fast too, guys. That thing's moving fast out there, guys. So be careful out there with NVAX.
Yeah, so that is in the ideal
turn now.
Sorry, man.
I kind of like this right now here at the 670s. It's starting to give you that little bit of a prop there. All right, I'm getting a little bit there at 680s, pullbacks to like 670s. I'm buying up. I only got 25 right now. I'm willing to buy more though. Let me see if I can get like right here into the 70s on pullbacks. So sometimes, like in this case, I'm willing to take a starter, right? The action's already starting, so I'm taking the starter, but really I'm looking for 4 entries on this so I can get pullback fills. You see 73 on the bid. That's where I'm going to look for it to jump on the offer, and then I can add that 73s there. Let's do 74. Already one order there, and just leave it there. And then I'm just on the buy. A lot of times I'm looking for what? Maybe a starter entry, and we're starting to see what here on the bottom, right? We're starting to get that cross, right? I'm going to make it as big as I can just for the sakes of kind of teaching this today, right? So I've already gotten the start, but now I want to see this start to cross, right? Cross over and get over here. Make its way over to like the 0.5. You see how it's starting to peak now? That's good sign. Now on pullbacks, I can still add some more. So let's go ahead. Let's set up maybe like a 680. Okay, 680s. Add there. So now you see how it's getting close to it. Now I'm looking for that real crossover. All right, guys, what's going on out there? Traders, definitely smash the like out there, guys. Trader Life, what's going on? Tesla. The Tesla AMC. Gosh. NVAX down. Yeah, I mean, NVAX, I was looking for above 14s and then coming back down, but we'll see what happens there. Did I get my fills here? There we go. We got about 50 shares. Still got a little bit more that I can get at the 74 spot here. I'm going to cancel down that 74 spot right now. You can always add a little bit more. I want to see this get back above the 7s and just rip. So now we're getting that touch. You see the touch there? Now I want to see it just go through 7, and that should give us that cross if we really break out through 7 now. If I can get 80s, I'll add a little bit more here. It's 13 spread wide here, so I'm looking for a little bit more, and I'm seeing 670s on the bid. About 2,100 shares there on the right-hand side. I'm not seeing a wall at 7, so that's actually a good sign. Top or where? What's up with the top? GME opened and down, guys. Open and down, guys. So this is where I really got to start just watching that GME because we are down, guys. We're down to 46, but I do want to get a little piece of it. So let me just focus in on Mullen right here, and then I'll go to GME. All right, I'm getting a little opportunity here. I'm already getting a little bit of an ad here. The bottom of that, 659s. So that's what? 75 shares there, 659s. Let's go ahead. Let's do 650 here. Let's do 649 risk. And then I can actually just go ahead and just go watch GME for a second here. There we go. Starting to move back up. We're looking for the cross. There's the cross now, starting to cross. Now it's starting to give you that just the peak there, right? So now I want to see it get through 7, and that gives me conviction, right? And above 0, right? This line here. Now I got the cross. Now I want it above this line here. There's 695s. Can they take the 7s here, guys? Can they take the 7s? GME now down to the 45s, guys. The 45s. That's a crazy one there. Let's go to GME really quickly here. I do want to go ahead and take a little bit of an ad and then hold break even on the rest. Let's go. I got to do this fast here, guys. Sorry, I'm gotta move with these stocks, right? All right, let me see here. I can get 48s. Can I get 48s? Trying to be patient here. 48s, come on, come on. It's not giving me the 48s. I want to add. I want to get in this thing, man. You see how the MACD is also trying to cross here? That's another reason. That's another sign. All right, not seeing much here. It's kind of like slowing down. Did I get it? Did I get the ad? Oh, I hit it right there, and it halted. It's halt at 49.85. Wasn't able to get that ad there. Let's get after it, guys. I'm willing to add to it. I wanted to get that ad right there. It just halted right when I clicked it. Look at that cross. All right, let's go back to the Mullen. We got that cross. We're about to approach that 0 line that we talked about. There it goes. Now I need to see it take 7 and start to move here. Mullen, let's see what's our average here. We got average is 679. So we're looking good here. We cancel my sell on Mullen right now. There you go, 75 here, always ready to get out. First is out, then I'll worry about profits. So let's say 50 shares on the first kind of rocket, I'll sell that. Looking for a push towards like 750s. I'd sell half of it there, or a little bit more than half, and then look for the big push back towards 825. Let's see if we can get it. Really don't want to see this higher low trend change now. So you can see on the 5-minute, the higher lows. So we had a 641, 659. I don't want 59s to break. I would love to see this close here, and with a 682 be the low, I can use that 680 as my out. Hollow and YOLO. All right, I see you guys out there. Tup. Starting to come back a little bit. That's one that I'll keep a watch. Came into the area that I was looking for, the pullbacks in kind of the 225 spot. So that's one that I'm watching on Tupperware. All right, 5-minute candle open, closing up here. Still got about, 2 minutes? This is when I usually look for it on the 5 minutes. The last 2 minutes I feel like are more important, and I start to look to see where the candle's going to close, because in the next 2 minutes, the 5-minute candle is going to close, and that's so vital for me. A close back above 7 in the next 2 minutes is going to be a good sign, and for the bulls to take control. On the Mullinator. All right, guys. Let me know when GME opens up again. NVAX coming right back down here, looking at Tupperware. Pack B showing up on the scanners. HTZ, Lucid. What you guys got out there? Is this real market trading or just a demo? Come on, man. You see, you literally watching it. I even got the filled orders out there for you today, guys. So you guys can see exactly where I'm filling too. Not a bad day, at least. Good cushion on the account now with this big push. Ready? I wish I would have got that ad in GME, because it would have been a nice ad. I wanted to get like just 10 shares and then just hold break even with the rest. Tup. You want to get going, Tupperware? And then Mullen. You're going to give me a Mullinator with this one. Let's go.
I've narrowed it down to the time frame. I can't change the time frame. As soon as I change the time frame,
you're not allowed to trade with multi-time frames today, Scott.
No, absolutely not. No higher views today. 1 minute only. 1 minute only. Yeah, I'm just working out what I can do.
Can adjust, right? You can trade that 1 minute, man. All right, 699. Here's 705. 707's on Mullen. Let's go, Mullen. Let's go. Let's get it going here. 706. And look at the cross. This was the most important part of today, was showing you guys some indicators, and so that you guys can learn on this stream. And I really want to give you guys value, right? It's not just seeing our trades, right? Well, there you guys see it. This is what conviction now, right? Now I feel like I timed the trade right. Does it mean that I'm going to be in the green? No. And that's another thing to stress, right? Doesn't guarantee it. It's just something to use, an indicator, right? This is indicator of change of trend, and now the momentum going in my favor. Hope you guys enjoy me going and breaking down the MACD indicator today. 710, 711's here, and the wall's at 716. So that's the next level that I'm going to be watching to see if we can get through the 716 level. There, they took it off there. Now it's clear roof towards 720s. Let's see if this can really start moving. Mullen, you know it. It can move, man. It can move. GME opened. I see that money moving. When I see that money moving, I already know. GME, let's go. All right, GME, let's see if I can get this little 10 share ad here. All right, what the hell, guys? Let's get after it, guys. I just added there, guys. Now 42.12s. So that's going to be the stop set here, guys. So 42.12s. I'm going to do 42.50s just to protect me because of the way that this stock moves, right? So you got to understand what you're dealing with. So there you guys see it. And I got to change it to 20, right? Because I got 20. Boom. All right, guys. So stop is set on GME. Now I can let the stock work, right? I did get a little bit of a buy, already up a little bit on those shares. And you guys will watch it right here, live, right in front of you guys. Let's get after it. Smash that like. See if we can get some good likes today. Can we get to, 30, 40 likes? Let's go. Get it up there, guys. Am I short or long? I'm long here. You can see it here, guys. Does it say long? Yeah, it says long right here. You can see it right here on the side. 42.12s though. Remember, I already had shares earlier, so my average is down from the 30s. I could still have hold that 30-30, but I want to take a shot today on dip buying this. So there it is. Really, it would have been nicer at that 48, that first hold, but hey, we'll see what happens there. Let's go back to Mullen. Let's focus on that. It's at 718, 77s. Really shouldn't break kind of like the 680 area now, and I'm in at 680. So that's one thing that I'll keep in mind. Definitely shouldn't lose on Mullen now. Should just be focused on making that cash. All right, let me go ahead and set to sell some at 750s here. Let's do 748. All right, there we go. Get that ready to go just in case. Always have 2 order forms. So you see how I have 2 orders here, guys, for a trade to pool. Of course, I'm using something else for charting, and that's fine. You guys use what you use, what benefits you. You see Scott using a different charting service, right? Always pay for the tools that can help you. I always talk about it. You got to pay to play in trading. A lot of traders try to do this for free, but the truth is that you got to have the right tools to try to have the right success. But we'll see what happens here in Mullen if it can keep moving. And I do use 2 orders because I always want to have one as like a backup order, right? Have 2 ways to put in an order. So here I'm looking at profit on the top and I'm looking at protection on the bottom. Always have to have the protection, right? Now that we're reclaiming VWAP, this is a very important level for me to kind of hold. Like you can get a little wick here to the 690s, but we should kind of hold there and get back up through that 725, get up there to the 750s. All right, getting a little bit of an alert here. That's my gong alert. And that's INOD, guys. INOD giving me an alert there, guys. And there it is, 1160s, guys. So INOD, if you guys were watching that earlier today, look at that hourly chart. This looks nice now, guys. I would look for a little bit of a dip. I'm looking for it. Right here, I'm looking to see if we can get back here into this space somewhere in, let's say, 1130s. Doesn't seem like a bad area. Let me see if I can get a little bit of a dip there and see this start to come back, but not a bad move there. INOD was on the alert. Not a bad one there. All right, back to Mullen. And watching GME now is in another up hole, 55.69s. Let's go, let's go. Sound that alarm. NVAX is just chopping around here, guys. Is it going to make another move through 14? That's definitely a chart I'd be watching. I'm going to focus on Mullen right now, but definitely NVAX, definitely something to watch. Do you use level 3 and 4 book viewer? I do have book view. I don't use it as often. Maybe should. I need to learn a little bit more on how to find the edge there, right? That's looking into a little bit more of the dark pools. We've talked about that with Scott and things like that, right? You kind of have to, you got to know that space, right? That's something to learn and kind of adjust some strategies towards it. All right, 718 here. If Mullen can really get moving, it's not going to be looking too bad. Definitely don't want 7 to break now. Now we're getting what? Higher lows. Remember I talked about that? The trend? Higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. So that's 690, 694. So we're going to go ahead up and set a stop here. $682. Why? Because we're at 679. So no matter what, it will be what? A small little profit here. Let's just let this work now. All right, now I can go ahead and get off of it, guys, but you guys saw it here. Let's look at the MACD right quick so you guys can see how it went above the 0 line. But now what is it starting to do? It's starting to cross back, and we don't want it to cut back through that yellow. So we want it to hold at least the 0 line on pullbacks. It's okay if you pull back a little bit, but you shouldn't really break that 0 line. You should maybe bounce somewhere near that, looking for that to take out the next level and start to work higher. We'll see what happens there. Mullen on the pullback. I'm not going to lose on this one, but I'm giving myself the chance for the bigger win. All right, let's go back to GME. We'll see what happens on that position. GME's 5570s should be out of the halt in just about a minute here. We'll see what happens on that one. Top was around the 230s. 225 spot was an interesting level for me. Keeping an eye on it. What happened with costs? Costs after the halt opened up down. That's a tough open there. Wow, that's a tough open, man. That's a tough one, Scott. Halted at 690s, and then it opens up at 620. That's a tough one right there, guys. All right, let's keep going. What else do you guys have? Anything you guys want to make a trade on? Let me know in the chat. In a few minutes, we'll get into a little bit of you choose time because I'm feeling like trading. And you guys can let me know what you guys are seeing moving out there. DNA trying to work its way back to the $1 spot. MSOS. I thought maybe cannabis could get going on a day like today, but it's not, at least for the time being.
Tilray was up there this morning, right? Tilray, what's Tilray doing? Tilray was on the scanners this morning. I feel like
yeah, I thought if any day could get these stocks moving again, it'd be a day like today. It's definitely on my radar. Even like CGC here. Maybe it can make a run to 10, but man, it's just not getting the love it deserves after the rescheduling. Just not enough there. BIG, the big lots. The lots, baby, the lots.
Anyone on COS is benchmark 2 right now. 639 is it still alive? Yeah, still alive. So in the benchmark 2 at the moment, pushing high. No sell side on it yet. Benchmark 2 up there at $10.15. But right now it's got to deal with this $7 area. Let's just drop down to the 1 minute, see if I can get any res on this. Okay. Right. Yeah, so it's tried up. Go on, if you've got some, I'll just grab this one. You're good. You've just got one coming in here. So yeah, back up to, if we can get back up to 660, that's the sell side on costs. If we can get that attempt that fails, but remember you've got an area just above us up there at $10 that it might want to go for today. So Mitch, where you go?
I'm looking around, guys, just sector-wise, just trying to find plays here. Definitely trying to see what happens in the overall market. Out of Mullen there, guys, on that pullback, out for a small win there. But, hey, it is what it is. I'll look for it to come back through 7. That's kind of the level to look for the cross back up, right? So you see how it crossed back down, and it could cross right back above it. But I'm stepping out on Mullen for right now. It could come back. Just didn't want to just pay the price there to stay in it.
So how would you play? You took some on GME down at 45, right?
Now, right? Yeah, I took some there at I think what was the fill exactly? Let's give the fill 53.94. So right now it's back to like 52.48. So right now, what I would do really, I have a stop placed at like my entry just above, but I wouldn't want to see this 45.10 break. Right? Because this is where it swung back around, right? So it could maybe double bottom there, but I wouldn't want to see it broken, right? So like 45.10 close below that is like a getting out point, right? At this point. Another way to look at this is we could do like a retracement, right? a retracement of the full move and see what retracement we're getting here. But that's just another way to look at it. NVAX.
All right, let's see if that's going to resume down into this buy zone. I've got it around. The first one is 49.91. The low of it's 47. But that's the kind of thing that I'd always look for. Just normal small cap stocks. I'm looking for, does it come into that bottom? Preferably that is a pull right there anyway, which this is on TradingView. If I could get it back up, I could show you. I might be able to refresh and bring it over without changing the time if it's feeling nice. But this is, it's not, but this was a buy zone down here. And look where the switch on, the kind of 8 a.m. switch on here of all the liquidity, taps straight into that as well. So now it's like, well, okay, if we are going to continue up on this dip buy, we need us to hold this buy zone down here. And where would you be looking for, Mitch?
I mean, it's for buy zones now. I just would like to see double bottom. So in that 45 range, double bottom, and then really when it comes back, 70 is the important spot in 72. In the pre-market, we fought that 72 so much that if we can get back through there, there was definitely a seller that wanted to get out every time it got above 70. So that's like an important level to look for and recover on the day overall. Like at any point today, if we recover 70, that's looking really bullish to me. And we also got to keep in mind that just because this stock is spiking off doesn't mean that it can't come all the way back down, right? We always got to keep that in mind.
Absolutely. So yeah, there was the buy zone right at the bottom there on TradingView at 46. So again, if we come down here and just hold that next one that I've drawn on Trade the Pool, then we can curl right out of it and see how far we can get up to. But that most recent from this drop of the kind of last high of pre-market down into this low is sitting there at 62 to 66 at the moment.
SPY making an up move here. So the overall market coming back and shaking that PPI number, at least from this morning. We'll see if it can continue to hold. Important level to watch right now on the SPY is if it can start to hold this resistance. So you can see it on the 5-minute too clearly. Can really start to close above 521.60s and start to hold above that for the nice expansion move back. We'll see what happens. Keeping an eye out there. Apple and a little bit of a pullback after a move to 188. It's definitely on the radar. Starting to push on the daily. Can it get above that and get to the 190s? Something that traders are looking at. It's not a bad one. AMD looking for a move back above 152. Doesn't look too bad there. GME's just shaking all around. We'll see when it reopens, guys. NVAX, man. NVAX just said, no, I'm not stopping. You ain't stopping me. Look at that move, guys.
We've got a shout out for CTNT in the chat here. Oh, it's on the tape as well. All right. Okay. What's going on with CTNT? All right. Okay. So let's just quick look at the benchmarks down here just from pre-market. I'm just going with the data that I've got on here. Right. So benchmark 2 tapped into 652. So, kind of thinking backside on that, but there was a huge drop down here. I doubt we caught that. Oh, we did catch it. All right. So 561. Yeah, it was that high. Now let's see what we've got from the downside. So we're chopping between the two. Is kind of obvious. Let's go. So the resting target for me would be down at 3 to 250. So somewhere in the middle, around 250. But the swings that have been holding is this initial push up from the open. So we got one tag in there and another tag in here. So that's our buy side, which is seeing money off the tape. So let's see where we've got. So the area of contention to get through now is 79 through 516 on CTNT. So that's where was the last 9 minutes past the hour. So a minute ago was the last on the tape, and that seemed like a push into that sell side more or less. and rejecting off of that last tape print. So let's see what we've got. So you're in between. I feel like I want to draw these on, but I'm not sure. I'm going to be super fast. We can throw a few rectangles in, but there's the first one, and here is the buy side. And again, we can just chop between these. What time we've got? Yeah, going into that kind of 10:30, but we'll see if there is anything else on. But that's what we're trapped between. So the dip buy potentially here, but remember it has hit its benchmark 2 up here at kind of 650.
All right, guys, I got a limit in on a beam, BEAM. Just want to let you guys know I'm looking at that one. See if I can get the beam. Spread has tightened up. That's what I was looking for in beam. CRISPR is another one, CRSP. It's on the radar right now for me. That's for a break towards 59.
All right.
CRISPR.
What's going on with ONON? Anything? I've got that's the biggest green square I've got on my volume meters. Is that earlier?
That's a sneaker play, man. That's the Federer. We'll see what happens on. It's just hanging out. 36, an important spot. Earlier it broke it. That's resistance for sure. 5 minute, you can see it clearly. 36, such an important level there. Trying to get in beam, not getting fills right now. I have an order out there, but it's canceling down right now. It's hard to when you get that spread. And the spread was tightening up. It was like 5 cents, and now it just went 20 cents. So I just canceled out. I don't like when the spread is expanding like that. It's just an easy trap. All right, let's keep going. Let's see what happens there. But Beam, not a bad looking stock there. We'll see if that makes the move. It's just the spread for me is a little too wide. If it can tighten down, I don't mind 2480s. Then CRISPR is CRSP. You can see here, nice little setup, symmetrical triangle, trying to get above. See if that can make the move to 59. This is not a bad one either. Of course, therapeutic stock. The Kathy Wood name. Kathy's doing good today. About trading Kathy itself. Path is another one that's like you see a lot of these stocks are making moves. PaySafe was one that's on the radar earlier. That's made a nice move already out the gates. Plug Power, what happened with that? Looks like nobody plugged that in. It is struggling out the gates here. FSIL. FSIL's actually going higher. That usually trades hand by hand, side by side. SunPower. SunPower.
Had that this morning.
That's an interesting one. It's already pulled back into this kind of area where I could see the buy zone happening. So where do you see liquidity there on SunPower?
All right, I'm going to try, but I'm going to try and change the ticker here. SWPR, right?
SPWR.
All right. Let's see what we can get out of this. I can't change the time frame, can I? No, let's have a look here. It's going to be there or thereabouts already. Let's take it from the pre-market. The pre-market low, yeah, smack in there. It's literally on that second level at 409. 375 is the low here. Let's see if we can add that on. I know it hasn't been much use this morning, but yeah, while it's working, 409. Yeah, it's got to work its way out of here. I'd need to tape with that for sure, because, like I said, that was pretty much a benchmark play. From earlier on. So yeah, but this you're right in the pool now, Mitch. It's SPWR.
Yeah, it looks interesting there for me. It just did a little bit of a pullback just right now. I kind of like this little pullback. The volume came in right around the kind of the 430 spot, so that's the risk right now on SPWR. I just like these to get sleepy and get forgotten on. So that's like literally what I'm looking for is, can it get forgotten and all of a sudden it starts to catch up. Not much going on right now on it. Not seeing the buying right now. 430 is a spot where I would like to see some buying come in. There's some sizing that keeps showing up on the offer. Here it goes. There's the bid action. Now starting to come in right now. All right, guys, let's take a little bit of a shot here. It took about 100 shares right now. Got like 440s, willing to add another 100 here. What's up with GME, man? There it goes. It's reopened. It's going sideways here. Can it take 55 to the upside? All right, I'm liking this action on SPWR. I'm going to add one more here. Boom, just got now to 200. Did I get it? Oh, it didn't get that second one. Let me see here. Nah, it did a limit. Didn't get the other 440s. Let me see if I can get it here. Boom.
CTNT on the tape.
There you go. I got it. 200, 441. Risking up to 430.
To long SPWR, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I'm doing 430, but to stop, I'm going to do like 427 just as like protection here. And then I can just look off because there's other stocks that I want to also maybe trade in between this. So look around, make sure that I don't have anything out there. I did have a sell on Mullen. Mullen might come back. It's still hanging out in the 660s. So it doesn't mean it's completely dead. I wouldn't put it out that it's dead. SPWR, still, I like this move here. It definitely doesn't look too bad there. GME, I might add again here, guys. Let's take a shot here, guys. All right, guys, just added another 10 shares now. Now I really need to focus, right? Because I'm at 46.38, and that's the bottom of today. So 47, I need to set a stop and then move that up, right? So I have now 30.
SYTA is currently out on the scanners, and just be careful because that's just tapped into its sell side liquidity. Oh, I managed to change time frame. That sell side liquidity there at 340 up there to 360. So be careful of getting long that until that area is clear. So you're gonna let me switch stop.
Test. There we go. I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. I had some mic issues there. They wanted to pull the rug.
Gremlins today.
All right, got to change this up here. 47. Stop. Modified. All right, modified my stop there, and I got 30 shares now of GME at 47. Just looking for it to start making its move back, right? Because if it goes back now to 70, I got 30 shares. I'm gonna probably make another 500, right? And so I'm trying to make a good amount. I'm not even worried about this 200 here. I'm just trying to make like the next like big push there. So I'm hung around. Now I want to see it kind of get that next push. We'll see if we get it.
When you say not worried about that 200, what do you mean?
So pretty much like at this point, like that's playing with the house's money. Like I don't need like profits from this trade anymore, like the 1,100.
You
from
mean
this
the P&L? Sorry,
Mhm.
man, I got you.
Yeah,
You meant
so
the
like
P&L. Sorry.
yeah, like a lot of times, like we can get to this point where we can do what's called playing with the house's money, right? Like where you've made so much on the trade that now it can just work, right? Like whichever way it happens now, the only thing that matters now is that I don't give up profits. That's what matters. That's why you see me setting up to stop at 47 and I'm in at 46.38, right? We can get this downhole and it could be already like, it could stop me out. But the idea here is to add on the way back, because if it goes to 70 now with my 30 shares, now we're not talking about 300 or 400. We're talking about like another like 700, 800 and getting up there to another 1,000, right? And so giving me the potential to make another 1,000 off of something that I'm essentially trying to set to zero risk. It's not guaranteed, right? Because it could go right through my stop, but it gives me that ability to potentially make another 1,000.
So we above 50% here of the, where do we come from? 28 was kind of the lows. 27 was the lows of yesterday, say.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're there, aren't we? Yeah, we're just about halfway here. So long as it holds up above, there's every chance that this dip buy is going to work out. And I love the way, like literally looking at that, it is, how can you question with the price action that you're seeing in the live open market with the halts interrupting what everybody wants to do here versus what happened in pre-market, which was just a free-for-all for all those pros that have the access can trade that, right? It's like that was the playground this morning.
Cost back to 6 here, guys. It's in between this range where it keeps going up to 690s and back to 6. So it's like an interesting spot here to maybe play off of like the 580 area, and then it comes back to maybe the 680s, 670s. I mean, it's not a bad risk to return. It's about what? Like you're talking 80 cents, 20 cents on the risk, right? So that's not bad. We're talking close to 4 to 1. So you got to get it at 6, maybe risk off of the 580s, but not a bad setup there in cost. Let's watch it in real time. I didn't take the trade right here, but it seemed interesting to me on costs. SPWR. You got to whack
a trend line on that 15-minute as well. Whack a trend line on that 15-minute on cost. That is like literally sticking to it like glue.
All right, starting at SPWR to make a little bit of a lift here. That looks interesting. If it can really push to 5, that's when we really start to see the buyers probably come back in SPWR. I'm trying to come after some names on the pullbacks. Let me know when GME reopens, guys. NVAX, man, what a move, guys. This thing's moving up and down and all over the place here. Starting to see that fade off, though. You can see here how it's gone up there to the 1450s, fought multiple times, now trying to recollect that 14 again, but at some point this trend could crack. See what happens on that one. Look at the daily chart on this, and so you can see the wick and the Harmy kind of forming, and that tells me more that we could be at the top. That's why I pointed in pre-market a high on NVAX at 1397 as it being somewhat of a resistance attempt, right? So we've blown through it twice. We can try one more time, but later in the day, if it really fails that third attempt to get through this level, like this 1450s, fails again here, somewhere going up to this 440s and then cuts through 14, that's my later in the day short strategy. I like those types of trades where it's a bullish setup, tries, eventually fails and starts to wash out traders. How is AMC today? Ooh, it's halted. It's following GME, I think. It's just on the follow.
CTNT on the tape again.
NVAX cutting the 1370s there. We'll see what happens. Looking to see if SunPower can get moving, but it did do a little pop, but it just kind of slowed down also. All All right, guys, definitely smash the like, guys. It's about 10:24 in just about 5 minutes here. We will go ahead and do the You Choose, We Trade segment. That's where you guys determine the trade. So definitely throw it up in the chat here, guys. Let's keep it going. You guys know where you're at. It's Trade the Pool every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 9 a.m. Eastern. Get after it, team.
CTNT is on the tape. It's in its buy-side pull down here. See if it can work its way out above 380. Looking at 480 there. If it hasn't got anything higher, but that's the gap basically. 380 to 480 on CTNT. We're open on GME. Rejecting off of
GME.
50. Rejecting off of 50. I switch to you, Mitch.
All right, guys. Let's see what happens here, guys. You guys know I'm in it. In it to win it. 46.38. Let's get back above 56. Let's go to 60. Give me a haul at the VWAP. You know what's interesting? We haven't come back to the VWAP at all today. That's that dotted line you'd see on my chart. So don't worry. You could keep it there, Scott. Let's see if this buy zone even comes into play. That's kind of like where my stop is set too. So it would be like that kind of area where it could get me out, right? I added twice on this. Remember, GME original entry was 30.30. That was yesterday. Here's the lift here. At wick to 50. Let's take 60.
I've added some there.
Uh-oh. Scott's joining the party. The hands are getting warm here, guys. You guys smash the like. You guys enjoying the stream like always. We try to have a good time here always. That's one thing that's for certain. You guys will see me win and lose, but have a good time while doing it. There's so many traders out there that are throwing computers out the window. We don't need to be throwing computers out the windows, team. We just need to be having a good time, trying to have a processed approach, and like always, focusing on the execution, guys. I mean, that's what we're here to do. Here to make that money. Unless
your trading view is not allowing you to change time frame on stream, and then by all means you can throw your PC out the window.
Yeah. No trading view might need to repay that computer, but and it's raining outside right now, so that computer is not coming back if I throw it out.
Same here. It's not going to be raining tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow evening by the time you're there.
All right, guys, let's see what happens. SPWR, it's a nice setup here through the 450s. If it can really start to move to 5, a little part of me is like eager to like add to this, the SPWR, but I'm going to hold off, guys. We'll see what happens. Here is now pulling back as it just looked for that bullish move through 450s. Let's see if it gets it. We'll see what happens. If it cuts 427s, I'm out. GME. Ooh, that kind of bunch up there makes me want to add. But the problem with adding now is that the down hope can really get me out. So it's at this point, I can't add anymore, right? I just need to look at the trade and see if it works. I really wouldn't want to see that 50 break now. Really don't want to see another down hold. Now I need to see the up hold come in and a trend line break, right? So like you see this on the 1. So like this is what I want to see it kind of break and start to make its move back up. I'm going to put this in green here because that's what it represents to me. Anything above that, it's going to start looking really nice. Really looking for a move back into the 60s above the VWAP. There's 54.26, 54.26, 54.18. Can we get back to the 60? I think that's such a vital spot, the 60. And that was also where we were seeing like kind of like this morning pre-zone buying area. So that's kind of, I'm looking to get back into that spot, right? Wash those traders out and then get back to that spot. Classic psychology trade. Let's see if it works out.
So a couple of calls on Mara in the chat there, Yash and Great Scott. I saw sell side liquidity from yesterday's high to pre-market low today, sitting here. You know, we've pushed, got that first level, punching for the second level, third level up there at 18. So a close above 18 could see some momentum flow through. In terms of where these benchmarks are, we're going to take those pre-market lows right there and see if there's anything that aligns. Okay, yeah, so we've acknowledged here again, just at that level. This is profit take 2 at 794. So if we can crack 18s and close above, then the benchmark is sitting up there at between 1850 and 19 on Mara. So it's pushing up there now. It just touched 18s now, so it's whether or not we can close and hold above that 18 right now for a little bit more, another dollar more.
Yeah, not a bad trade there, guys. All right, guys, there. Smash the like, guys. It's time. Like always, guys, you guys choose the trade and we come after it. Throw it up in the chat. Let me know what you guys want Money Mitch to come after. I'll get after it, team. Boom, baby. Let's get after it. What do you guys want to see me trade? We'll go after it. If it's GME, of course, I'm already in it. But if it's another one, maybe I can get after it right here. SPWR now starting to go a little bit in the red there for me. Just keeping an eye on it. Want this back above the 450s. Cost, what did that one do? It's a cost, guys, at $6 here. Went up to the 630s. Kind of slowed down there. Let me know in the chat. What do you guys want me to trade? You guys got a chance to call the shots here. Beyond Meat, I see you mentioned by Shane. All right. Beyond Meat is definitely on the radar. CTNT short. I get 2 votes for that. So in 1 minute, I'll determine from those. But Beyond Meat or CTNT short. Beyond Meat, what do you like? Upside, downside? What are you liking, Shane? CTNT. The short here off the $4 spot. Doesn't look too bad there. I don't mind it. It definitely does look like it is setting up a little bit like it's trying to come back here. Trying, but fading now and could crack here. So it doesn't look too bad. It could also get back above the 4 spot here. Up 1, down 1, up 2, down 2, up 3, down 3. This is usually where you get that recollection, tried attempt to 4. So I'm going to look for that tried attempt to 4. If it fails that tried attempt to 4, that's when I can hammer down on it. I don't mind it. CTNT and long on Beyond Meat, Shane said. Big, BIG, just got a big dip. That's funny right there. There you go. BIG with that big dip. Doesn't look that bad. It went back to 560s here. Back into the 480s. So resistance, you could act as support is around the 470s for me. We'll see if that starts to work its way back. SPWR out there on that one. So took a little small hit there. But like always, guys, I like to give you guys the transparency there. Came in and stopped me out at 427. Could still come back up to the 450s. A little measured out there. Only $28 on that loss. Just trying to keep everything measured today, guys. I have too much profits to kind of ruin the profits. Don't mind taking trades, but also going to stay smart.
Absolutely. Beyond Meat, I've got a what we got? Beyond Meat.
Ooh, $10 breakout right now.
So $10 breakout. I got a benchmark at there 1040 to 1060. Acknowledge each one of these levels up, and that's what I kind of look for. To say, right, okay, so if each of these, so did we accumulate? Yes, we did. Did we recognize it on the tap back down? Yes, we did. And did we acknowledge the levels on the way up? So yeah, and we've got some form of like acknowledgement accumulation around this $8-9 area benchmark, and now it's pushing up there for 1045. So let's see what we get if we get a little push through. But what is it? Is it a long suggestion on BYND?
Yeah, it is a long suggestion on BYNB. So if you like that one, Scott, you can take charge on it. I'm looking at this CTNT for possible short. Needed to reject the $4 move. So I'm going to look for it now to see that happen. For the bulls, that also could mean that the the 4 could be taken out and going higher. But you let me know, Scott. Get after it.
Yeah, I mean, my bias would be short at CTNT if it gets up there, but literally from 16 now to 40, maybe.
And there's CTNT, close to 4 now. There's the 408.
Boy.
$4 spot there.
Yeah, CTNT on the tape as well.
All right, giving this a second to see if it wants to pop above the 4. It is popping above the 4, and I'm not jumping on it immediately, but getting ready to. Giving it the chance for the breakout, right? Because it could break out right here. The trend line break and fail attempt. That's essentially the trade.
So I'm looking for that turn back around, right? Because right now it's just like kind of on this up move, right? We're looking for that to break back down. One way to do this is to draw like just imaginary trend lines for you and just be like, okay, so it needs to cut that low and start to turn here. Target giving me a little bit of an alert. I'm keeping an eye on target for a swing to the upside, just to mention it. You see now we're fighting that 410 area. Now it could start to break back down. And then I can use the high to the left, the 410, as pretty much the risk area. So I'm waiting to see it like a red candle really close here on the 1. Smash it up, guys. I love to give you guys the perspective and the full transparency in the trading action. There's NVEX with that attempt move back to 14, starting to fail, now down to 1362. So be careful out there, traders. What's GME doing there? Just hanging out, man. GME's on the hangout. Who hit the pause button? Who hit the pause button on GME, man? They just pause that thing up.
Did Roaring Kitty post anything else?
And Roaring Kitty needs to post his position. That's what you and I were talking about. It. That's what needs to happen, man. If that happens, all hell will break loose.
I see that Elon Musk posted something as well. Like, I don't know, share this a million. No, share. Oh no, it wasn't Elon. It wasn't Elon. It was Tate. It was Tate. Yeah, saying share this 5,000 times or 10,000 times, and I'll buy 1 million of GME. CTNT
oh man, I would love to see Elon be like, "Oh, I got GME also." I'd be like, "Oh my God, Elon, you wanted to join the party." And he could do it too. He has so much money. He could just be like, "I'll just throw 1 million. Just here you go." Yeah. Well, I would love to see an Elon day trading stream.
Man, he's gonna overthink it
though. He does the gaming streams. Have you seen those? Like he games pretty good.
Does he?
Yeah, he games and he games them publicly. Like he'll be up late though. He does those game sessions. Like you're like, dude, do you not like sleep? Like you're rich, man. You don't like sleep. You see, this is why I didn't short CTNT earlier, guys. Was waiting for the break because look where it's at now. Right? I would have just got stopped out. Let's just be honest. I would have got stopped out on this little move back up. But the line still hasn't broken. So I could still come after it. It doesn't mean that it's going to the moon just yet, right? But this is exactly why I didn't want to fight it immediately, right? So it's kind of funny, right? It's how it goes, team. Don't worry, team out there that told me to short it. It's okay. It's how it goes, man. It's like when I look at it and I'm like, all right, this is looking perfect for the long. And then it just crushes. But that's how trading goes, team. We'll see what happens here.
This
still don't want to take the short. What you got?
I took it on the tape. I took it long on the tape there. Just like the big, like you saw it. You saying you went for that red candle here. Yeah, I'm going to cover it in just about 5 cents if I can get out now.
There you go. All right, let's
get
me up there. CTNT.
I hope that was a minute.
GME, man, coming back down, guys. 50-32s could get me out, guys. GME, no. When you gotta go, you gotta go. How'd the cannabis do? It's like propping, but it's not really moving. Could do it like a later in the day move. I could see that happening. I might take a swing on MSOS.
Well, I held that just long enough, right? Literally, we've got to hold these small caps for a minute when they go, right? You got to have it. You got to be in it for 60 seconds, and yeah, luckily that was 74 seconds. So, but that's what it's like. Sometimes you're anticipating that level to take the profits, and I say when that comes in on the tape, you've only got sometimes 2 or 3 minutes before it gets there. That's the whole. I find that with everything though in trading, not just small caps. It's like even if you go to the futures, it's like there's a lot of sideways, and when the job's got to be done, it's done ever so quickly. If you're not positioned already, then you find it tough. You end up chasing all the time if you can't position yourself ahead of time.
Oh, this is where I find myself fighting myself a little bit there. I want to go long on this MSOS for a swing, but I'm not going to be able to trade tomorrow, guys. So I got to be careful with that, right? Because that could go really well and that could go really bad. So I'll probably just hold off on it. I could do a day trade on it, but I don't want to sell it today. Definitely, guys, it's 10:41. Let's get after it. Beyond Meat was kind of laughing when someone went long. Beyond Meat was getting beat up on my Beyond Meat short at the time. That's the beauty of it. Definitely, we can trade both sides. I love this comment. Both make money if we have the right timing. Trade the pool benefits from our collective positioning. I mean, at the end of the day, guys, like, we always have to understand that there's both sides of every single trade. That's just the way the market works. Someone wants to take the buys. Someone wants to take the sells. If not, ain't no point in playing this game. But Beyond Meat down now to 930s there and just flipping down, right? So it could come right back up. But hey, I know we wanted to do a Beyond Meat long, maybe a CTNT short. So let's see if maybe we get either or. I have my pick now. I'm going after one of them. I'm just looking after it right now. Beyond Meat might have just had its little blow off top. CTNT.
Just rejected off the sell ball.
Yeah, this one looks more like that area where it could like fake out some buyers and all of a sudden just come right back to 4. Up 1, down 1, up 2, down 2. Let's go with one more attempt to get above the 450s. So you see how it's kind of slowing up here? So you get in this bunch, up 1, down 1, up 2, down 2. Looking for that rejected move right here. So it hits 460, then comes back down. Back. That's what I'm going to look for here, guys, because it's building up the resistance right here in this 450 rejection area. I'm going to short this CTNT, guys. I know that you guys wanted to see it. I want to get after it. Let's get the orders ready here.
Do it.
Yeah. Just do it. Just turn around and do it, man.
Well, GME's back to my entry.
Uh-oh.
Like my
Watch
entry
out.
of pre-market, my little 5% was when we added onto there. But yeah,
it's the 450s, 460s get hit right there just for a second. Now I'm going to look for them to get washed. We'll go 50 straight up. Then we'll go add 50, another 50 shares here. Just looking for the rejection of 460s and then turn around. Once it starts to turn is when I hammer. CT 40, 477s, it's a good resistance. If it breaks, it's boom. All right. Shane, unfortunately, had 3 winning trades on GME and AMC that were under 60 seconds, so didn't count. GME was 240 per share. Hey, Shane, just got to understand that that's just the part of the game, right? So maybe it's figuring out, hey, can I hold this for a minute, right? Can I get that next? Can I take the next 20 seconds to then come after it? Things that we all need to be thinking about. So here's that level, and another reason why I wait to see the turn versus shorting quickly, because it's still spiking here, right? It's still at the 470s. Hasn't closed there, so it could be a wick, right? And then it's a wick turnaround, and it's actually more of a trap. So let's just see what happens here. There we go. Now turns back around. That's what I wanted to see there. Now I'm just looking for 450s on the offer. Oof, look at that flush already. All right, I'm about to jump in a little bit there, guys. So I got 50 shares there. Spread is wide now. Got to be careful here. It's back up to the 60s here. All right, hammering down, guys. Now I got 100 shares here. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put 480 do 485s as a stop, protective stop, because this is one of those types of shorts that it should just go, right? So it did the fake out. It trapped me a little bit there on that wick. Now I definitely don't want to see this close above that, right? And so I could put a hard line there and just be like, okay, so hold that. Close back above that. I need to get out anyways. Then you're going to this resistance, this 477 that was mentioned by what? My man Yash. I see you out there. I see you. All right, guys. Now we're back towards the 450s. What's my average? 447s. Let's get this back down to the 4s, and then it can really break. Giving us a nice little win here. Getting after it, CTNT. Overall, guess what? No matter what, it's a green day, baby. Smash it up. We're bounced back. I had a tough day yesterday. Bounce back today. And doing pretty well in the eval account now. Up 930s. Something like that. 9. So let's just keep battling, guys. GME is about to get me out, guys. About to get me out. It's back down to the 47s. It's just moments away from getting me out at 47 here. We'll see. I tried to give an attempt to add here throughout the day, but if it cuts through 47, I'm out. All right, CTNT, can it start to break down here, guys? You guys see the trade set up? There's the first action. That looks great to me now, guys. Now we're starting to really break here. And I really don't want it back above that 472s, really. At this point, what I'm looking for is like a 420 move, a 410 move. And then I can even just put a break even on this and look to see if it just fades for the rest of the day. Sometimes you get those end of the day faders where it just fades the rest of the day. Smash it up, guys. That was you guys in the chat. And on the You Choose, we trade, guys. All right. Like always, guys, check out Trade the Pool. If you guys want to get funded more than $260,000 in buying power, trade more than 12,000 stocks and ETFs. If you haven't checked it out already, what are you waiting for? Smash the like, guys. Bring the A game. We got the rest covered, guys. All right, what else do we got out there moving, man? It's one of those days where you got to battle. That's for sure. Now down to the 430s there on CTNT. We're looking good here on this CTNT. A little part of me even wants to add to this now and just hammer down on it. Let's see if we can get a little bit of a bounce here, and then I can add a little bit there at the 440s. There we go. Now down to the 420 spot. Now we're looking good, guys. Now we're looking like we're starting to get a little bit stronger here. It could give a little bit of a bounce here. Maybe the 448s, 445, 450s. Really wouldn't even want to see 460s show up now. Looking for this to start to break down here. Let me look for 445, like add there. See the 445 on the offer. Looking to get just slightly above that 446. See if I get my ad there. I'm trying, guys. I'm trying to go after a little bit of a win here for us. I'm already up in a nice position, so I'm trying to step up there. And a lot of this is like I need to get filled near there, because if not, then I'm pushing it. Should get that fill right about now in a second here. We can get a click into the 50s with the offer. Maybe the bid can go right there. Boom. Right there. Let's go. Let's go. We got it. 447s, 200 shares. Now definitely want to start seeing this hold some resistance and changing the trend, right? Recent highs were into the 470s, so really shouldn't get back above the 472 area. So now I can go ahead and adjust here. Can adjust my stop here. I got 200 shares now, and I have 85 as the stop. I'm going to lower it down now to like 78 because we should kind of tighten it down as we add here. Now I'm looking for this to really go to the 4. So it did a little bit of a bounce. Now I want it to just reject down below the VWAP, which is a 4 move, and we got a nice winner there. GME's all done, guys. We took the profits. We're out at 47 from 30. We gave it a shot, guys. Gave it a shot. And this is usually when I'm going to look back and see GME go to 70. But hey, that's life, guys. All I got to do is give myself a pat on the back. It was a great win. Great win there. Over $1,000 day. And a lot of this on a swing trade. You guys know. Swing trading is my bread and butter. That's really what I want to get more and more to. And there's some things in the woodworks you guys might want to hear about. But like always, you'll find out right here on Trade the Pool. All right, still getting after it, team. Willing to take that. See if this can really break here, the CTNT. And then looking around, guys, what else is making a move? You guys see anything? Beyond me, did that kind of like just finally break? Let me see. Oh, no, it's starting to work its way back. It wasn't too bad from the 940s, 920 area. Tupperware starting to work back. That's one that I'd keep an eye out for. If you guys are looking for some upside, I'm actually liking this right now. Of course, you guys choose your own trades, but hey, this doesn't look too bad. The 225 recovery, it's holding. It's been sideways all day. Kind of a bunch up level, 225 with what I was watching. You can see the drawn trade here of how I was kind of thinking it. It doesn't look too bad there. It's not a lot on the plus side either. It's like a move maybe to 250s here, 25 cents. We'll see what happens. CTNT. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get down there towards the $4. 420 break there right off the VWAP, 411. Let's see if we can break that 411, start going to 4 here. I can take some profits half off there. Let's see if we can get it there. CTNT. And this was on you guys, so I like it. I like it. You guys are 2 for 2 for me. 2 for 2. Orders out there to cover some here. $4. It's 403s, 402s. Can we get it there? Boom, baby. Boom, baby. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. We walk up and we take that money bag with us, team. Let's go. Taking it with us today. You got it. And that was you guys taking the trade. You choose. Strap it on Money Mitch's shoulder and let's get after it. Just taking it along. Taking it along for the ride. You guys smash that like. You guys know where you're at. It's what we do here. Like, that's the only thing we do, guys. Smash it up. All right, guys. So now that we've gotten to our first profits there, we got a nice little first profit take, right? At this point, we can't lose on the trade. This is when I go ahead and lower the 478 stop towards my entry, which is 447. I can do 450. I don't mind giving up like, $3 because we already have gains, right? But at this point, I can set a stop at 450 and just let this trade work. Like, I can go get breakfast, go grab a drink, whatever I need to do, go relax, go take a walk. Because at this point, the hard work is done. Now, if the stock just wants to fade for the rest of the day and break that 4, come back to the 360s, I mean, we're going to have like a hell of a win, right? We'll have another $100 there. So let's see what happens there, CTNT. Let's keep pushing, team. All right, 10:55, guys. Wouldn't you know it? It's that quick. The time flies. I know. Sometimes the time is going to fly. And wouldn't you know it, GME is starting to turn around. But we'll see what happens with GME. Like always, guys, it's been a great day with you guys. I'll be looking for some other trades later in the afternoon. Definitely looking at some swing potentials like MSOS. Tupperware is definitely on the watch. American Airlines pulling back to this 1525s. Will it keep going? We'll see what happens on that one. And I did see Mara, those like kind of crypto stocks, make a little bit of a pullback here. So interesting pullback here to the 1750s. We'll see if it goes right back up. Coin, another one on the radar out there, definitely getting a little bit of a move. With that, you got HUT, you got some other ones, Clean Spark, a lot of action in the market today. I hope you guys continue in the green. But Scott, I'm going to go ahead and we'll kick it off with the recaps and we'll start to wrap up the day here.
Yeah, sure.
All right, guys, I'll go first here. Of course, it was all about GME today, taking those first profits in the morning at $58. So GME from 30/30s yesterday got it over here when it started to change the trend. And then coming back this morning and just realizing, holy moly, definitely should have taken some profits towards the 70s, but I wasn't at the computer at that time. I was moving around, doing some things. So by the time I got here, I just took the profits. We'll see what happens on GME. Got out though. I tried to do some ads. It could still kind of make a move later in the day. I'd keep on watch to see when do you recover that VWAP. 56.63 is what I have right now. We'll see what happens on that GME. Other than that, let's talk a little bit about the other action on the day. Did take a little bit of a loss there on SPWR. SPWR still setting up there. I will keep a watch on it. It's back above the 450s. Could make the move now. So I'll keep watch on this move to see if it goes to 5, 6. That's where I see it. I see like $1.50 there. So if I can risk 25 cents for $1.50, it's not a bad approach. Then last trade was going to be that CTNT, right? You guys see it right here. CTNT still in it now. I think I'm just going to get out of it right now. Yep, just got hit there. And what does that mean? I didn't lose on the trade, made money, made another 46 out, lost that $4 there. But that's the way I like to trade, guys. There's no point in risking that trade anymore. Now I'm looking for this to come down. We'll see what happens. You can see the spike would already be losing. That's what it's about, trying to take the green and run away. We'll see what happens. That's going to be it for me. I won't be back tomorrow, but I will see you guys back next week. I'm going to continue getting after it. Like always, you guys can reach out to me at MoneyMitch, at MoneyMitch_TTP. Definitely add me on Twitter. Give me a follow. Let me know what you guys are trading in the morning. I'll tell you guys what I see out there. Like always, we're working together. All right, time to kick it to Scott. What you got for me, Scott?
All right. Well, so CTNT, yeah, took that on the tape out of the buy zone into just as it really kicked in on the tape. Like I said, only held that had to hold it for longer than the 60 seconds. I managed 74 seconds before I was nervous of this level rejecting off, which it did. And then now bouncing between the two. Now, all my other trades have, I've lost the markers on them for some reason, unless anyone knows a quick way of getting them back on. But my GME, I showed you earlier that I top ticked out of that one up here at kind of 79 something or other, and took that in from this original position. This is down there at 47. It was at 43. This is average from my ad up here, so it's showing my ad, but it's not showing my previous entries and exits here. But yeah, I'm just hoping now that this, like the very bottom of that kind of buy side held, and if we can push up and close out of that. Otherwise, same as Mitch, anything below that kind of 47, anything below this buy zone, I'll give it a miss for the day. But I'm just hoping it does do that push at least up to the 60s for GME. Given the time that we've got, I won't go through the others, but I did also have, let's have a look, GME, CTNT, AMC, Hollow, SWPR, AMC as well this morning, pre-market, SWR buy again. Yeah, and the rest of them are fees. So yeah, I've lost all the little trade markers, so I won't go through them on the chart. But yeah, a lot of that was pre-market. CTNT and the add to GME was on the stream.
Love to hear it, guys, and we're going to keep battling like always. We'll be here, guys. Smash the like if you guys enjoyed today's stream. And what are you waiting for? Look down below. See that subscribe? go ahead and hit it, and we'll be here battling with you guys like always. And Scott will be tomorrow in the hot seat. So, hey, Scott, I'll be watching you, man. I'll be listening to you in my ears. So we'll see what you got here. All right, man. Like always, it's great trading with you. I really enjoyed. I hope that you guys in the chat, you guys enjoy our stream, and let us know. Give us some feedback. Are you guys enjoying having Scott and Mitch? You know, that's what it's all about. A dynamic duo, indeed. I'll see you guys back, like always, on Monday. But Scott will be back with you guys tomorrow. Hit the like, and we'll keep it going right here. Trade the Pool.